Díomh a gcuine uaisle, Deirdre ní céard mór san an dom. Ear free video Scoil Colini me. My name is Deirdre Kerwin. I'm delighted to be here this evening. And until last year, I was principal of Scoil Girls' School in Blanchardstown. 80% of the enrolment is comprised of children from all over the world, and we have more than 50 languages in the school. And we had a choice. We could have said to the pupils, leave your language at the school gate. Or we could have taken the wonderful opportunity of all of these languages, brought them right into the school. Out of that, we identified two overarching goals in the school. The first was we wanted to ensure that all pupils, including those from immigrant homes, gained full access to education, which means helping them become proficient in the language of school. And our second goal was to exploit the linguistic diversity in the school for the benefit of all pupils. We were ably and very well supported by the primary school curriculum, which is an excellent curriculum that we have in Ireland. It's child-centred, designed to meet the needs of the child in education. I haven't time to go through the aims and principles here, but what I've done is I've highlighted the key words in black so that you will see some of the really important things that are covered in this curriculum. And if we go to the one where the child's existing knowledge and experience form the basis of learning, how can we deny their first language when they come into school? Their first language is their language of thought. It is the language that they have been nurtured through, they've learned to love through it. Everything they know about school or about life, by the time they come to school in Ireland at 4 years of age, they've learned through their first language. They can't help but apply that knowledge to their formal learning and to learning the language of schooling as well. So out of this, we developed a school policy based on 4 principles. The first was that we welcome the diversity of our pupil population, and we acknowledge that every pupil has something unique to bring to her own education. There was no restriction on whatever language children wanted to speak within the school. All were welcome. And there was a strong emphasis on using the languages of the children in order that everybody could benefit from gaining in their awareness of language. We also know that speaking and writing are very closely linked in terms of learning literacy and language. And we also looked to our parent body to help in the task that we were undertaking. So what we decided to do was make parents real partners in education, have the parents involved in their children's education by providing the literacy background in their home language, and of course by continuing to speak to speak their language at home. What about that other 20%? Céirt faoi na páistí aontheangach, na páistí ó Éireann, agus céirt faoin Gaeilge í hain. Chuir na teangacha eile a bhí sa scoil brú an Gaeilge. In áiríre níor chuir. Céim fá, tuis go bhfuil meas an Gaeilge sa scoil. Na páistí, tuigeann siad gur mó cumarsáide í an Gaeilge. Tuigeann siad go dtugann siad seansdóibh, teanga eile a labhairt, chomh lena cháirde gátheangach. Comála sin tugann an Gaeilge slí dóibh, rudaí a rá is slí éigean eile. Ó thaobh an Gaeilge féin de, is teanga I measc teangacha í. Comála sin agus na páistí ag dul aráig sa scoil, tugann siad muiníon dóibh, teangacha eile a amhlaim. Faoi láthair tá chalíní sa scoil agus tá siad ag foghlaim teanga an choré, Korean, Spanish agus teangacha eile. Ní muintir na teangacha sin sa scoil. As is stúim féin tá na páistí ag foghlaim na teangacha sin. Céim fá, tuis go bhfuil simacha ionta, tá muinín acu ionta hain agus tá na scileanna acu chun teangacha a amhlaim. What I'm saying for those of you who don't speak Irish is that for people who feared that the Irish language might be swamped among all of the other languages, that certainly hasn't been our experience. In fact, the status of Irish has risen in the school, and particularly among the Irish children themselves. The children coming from abroad had no baggage as far as it was concerned. And the year that I finished up as principal in the school last year, for the first time in my entire career there, the Parents' Association approached me to know if we would set up Irish classes for them because they wanted to learn Irish as well. And that came from a mixture of Indigenous Irish parents and from parents from abroad. The attitude needs to change to see the presence of other languages in a school as a real asset. And the pride that children take in coming in next day and reading something in their own language is something to behold. And what it does is it makes them really, really engaged in their education. I think this is one of the most important things that is going to come out of our attitude to languages, and whether we tell children to leave their home language at the school gate or whether we embrace it and bring it into the classrooms. Having spoken to the children themselves about what their feelings are in relation to having their first language, their home language, incorporated into what's going on in school, and asking them to try to imagine what it would be like if they hadn't. What I did was I picked out the key words. This is what you get when your first language is not allowed. This is what you get when your first language is allowed. These are not my words, these are the children. Can I beg your indulgence for a moment just to read some of the things they've said? For example, a little German girl said, "It's like when they're talking about Ireland, we'd have nothing to relate to or be proud of and to put our name on, and so we'd be empty." Another child who's a speaker of Kurdish says about not allowing languages into the primary school, "That's like blocking a huge doorway. There are many possibilities what you can do with a simple language. It's taking away an advantage of exploring. And it's not like a subject that you go into class and be like, oh no, we have French today. You're like, yes, we have French today." Now, these children are all speakers of English as an additional language. And they're describing to us very well what it feels like not to be allowed to bring your home language in. Again, talking about social cohesion, it helps pupils to get personal into each other's cultures and languages, and is very useful for friendship, for knowledge. So in many ways, we're all expanding. It makes you feel closer because you have a perspective on that person's point of view. It's like when two people speak the same language, there's a kind of bond between both of them.